We all like to eat. At the very, very least, we all have to eat. Now, what happens when what you like eating is mushrooms? And while you are out in the countryside, having a stroll, you know, amongst the bees, being stung by wasps, being irritated by nettles, collecting mushrooms, you think, I'm gonna make a game around mushroom collecting and cooking and selling. Well, what happens is Morels. This is definitely a very, very indie game and is created by Two Lantern Games and somebody called Brent Povis. Now, what's inside this game and is it any good? Let's take a look at it. Morels is one of those weird games, okay? Let's just be clear about this. This is a very, very strange game. It's a strange game because it's based on mushrooms. Not just on mushrooms, but actually going out there, foraging them, cooking them, and trading them. Which is a very weird concept for a card game. But it is also very, very intriguing. And if it works, well, the heck, why not? Sounds sounds good to me. The thing that I like about this game is that it's come out of the mind of somebody who is actually very, very passionate about mushrooms, and he wanted to have his own game about mushrooms, which is fantastic. And the artwork promises a great, great deal. So let's take a look inside and see exactly how the components fare for what is a very indie game that has not gone through any Kickstarter or any funding process other than the money that the designer had, which is quite rare to see these days. Most people are going onto Kickstarter and they don't have a good quality plastic as this, I can tell you. Blimey, thank goodness I had breakfast this morning. Right. Artwork, as I said, is absolutely gorgeous. Two Lantern Games are doing very well. I think they've sealed the box somewhere because I couldn't open it easily. They don't want me to get into this game, I can tell. The box is actually pretty robust. I like it. It's very good quality cardboard, and the insert is very nicely done, which is great. First thing we see is the rulebook. Now, usually I am very, very critical of rulebooks because layout is one of my passions. I really like it. But I know in this case, Brent had to actually learn to do layout and learn to use scribus to be able to lay down these things. So I'm going to be a little bit more lenient. Not that I need it too much, to be honest, because so far what I can see is very decent. It's not perfect, and it has a few rough corners around. For example, although the font is big enough, it could do with having a tiny little bit more separation between the lines to make it a little bit more readable. But other than that, it's absolutely fine. Using same font, two different sizes, layout-wise. But it's good. I mean, it gets busy in some places, but it's okay. It doesn't particularly put me off reading these rules. It's not horrendous. It just needs a little bit of keener eye, but other than that, it's absolutely fine. And the artwork is reflected quite nicely, which is lovely because it's beautiful artwork. It really is. You get your little markers and your little quick start, you know what goes on in the game, what you're meant to be doing in your turn and after your turn, which is great. This is something that if the game had been mass produced would probably come in a proper thick card, but as it is, it's normal card. I because of the nature of the game, have absolutely no problem whatsoever with this. If this was a big production, I would be very critical, but it isn't. And I cannot fault this, because it does what's meant to do. It looks good. And it doesn't need to be any better. It could do with being better, but it doesn't need to be. So I'm happy. There's absolutely no problems there. I keep saying there are no problems with things. That's because I am a very no problems kind of man. You'll get used to it. Trust me. The cards. Let's take a look at the quality of the cards. And by the way, I'm mentioning the no problems bit because I know that the cameraman and director is going to tell me when we finish that I keep saying there's no problem, so I'm just preempting that so he doesn't need to tell me. Anyway, the cards. This is good quality card. Very good quality card. It is thick. It feels very, very nicely in the hand. The colors are very, very vibrant. This is good. This is seriously good, and I like it an awful lot. The reverse of the card is the same in every single one of them, which is okay, and it looks beautiful. The front of the cards present either the locations where you can trade and sell your mushrooms, or where you can find them and what type of mushrooms they are. The artwork is gorgeous. It is seriously beautiful in every conceivable way. This is delightful. I really like it. It has a very, very charming quality to it, and I cannot fault this. I seriously cannot fault this. Thick cards, good artwork, good quality production. So far, this is wonderful. It seriously is. Now, what for me makes this game special are these. You get with your game these handcrafted foraging rods. Word of warning, if you want this video is being recorded in August 2012. If you want this, you better hurry up, because these are handmade by Brent, and I know that they're not going to be made forever, because they take quite some time to do, and when you have to do thousands of these, it can get a bit painful. So these are not going to be made forever, and they are charming. They're really nice. With them, you also get these handmade little pans where you're meant to be cooking your mushrooms. And let me tell you that the level of detail when you have your little spout in there where you can pour the sauces but that you made with the butter you cook your mushrooms with, because yes, mushrooms are cooked with butter and not oil usually, it's fantastic. It's just fantastic. I don't know how this game plays, how well it plays, how good a game it is or not. And right now, for what I'm seeing, I don't give a damn. This could be the worst game ever, and I'd still be so happy to have it, because it's been done so lovingly, so beautifully, and the artwork is so delightful. That is a joy just to look at it. This is something that bigger companies could learn from, and this is something that comes to show that when you're really passionate about the subject of your game, you can do, even without having a clue how to do things, and I'm not saying that Brent doesn't have a clue about how to do things, but even if you don't have a clue as to how to do things, that passion comes across. And that counts, that should count for an awful lot. It definitely counts for an awful lot in Morels. So, I don't normally give stars to these games in these videos because I can't be bothered with it, but seriously, this, so far, in terms of production, it deserves 5 stars and a mile. So, very, very well done. I cannot wait to see what else is going to come out from Two Lantern Games. I seriously am very looking forward to that. If you can get a hold of this game, quite cheap, please do, because it's lovely.